Okay, folks, happy Wednesday. I'm gonna do some painting this morning, and figured you guys would come along for the ride. It's 6:15 here, so we're gonna attempt to be a little quiet and pick up where we left off here on this night. All right, let's see where we are, because I don't remember. Looks like we have gone and put the extra shine everywhere on the night itself. Okay, we're going to go ahead and paint the armor on top of the horse's head in metal. We're going to do that, and then we're going to do something a little different on that little reinforcing piece on the knight there. All right, so. Yeah, do we have any of this metal left here that's alive? I doubt it. But let's check. Yeah. Yeah. Not no more. Now, we're probably not going to do the known oil treatment here on this because it's just a small area. And we could have done this earlier, but we hadn't decided what we're going to do on them yet. We're going to put some bronze around the edge of that horse's armor there on the face. Make him a little bit different. Again, this is an attempt to make some different looking knights all out of the same pose. Hey, good morning, Joe. Hopefully you don't have to work today. Off to get the missus this morning, okay? Good luck. Tell her I said hi and have a safe drive down. All right, we got just a little bit of bronze we're going to put on here. We don't want to go crazy. Just going to do some of the edging here. Trying to be careful so I don't create more work for myself. I got plenty to do. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and do that little, we're going to do that bronze around this collar here. I'm not sure if that's a piece of metal or not. I have a feeling it is. It's almost like a flange there. A lot of these miniatures, you kind of have to start painting them to realize what maybe some of these items are that's sculpted on them, because it's not always apparent when you start. Not always apparent. And since we have this color out here, we're going to go ahead and paint those appropriate parts on his sword so that we don't have to do it at a later time, since we're just going to use the same color. All right. Cover of the reins, we're not going to make it too busy on this guy, because he's got the try to even things out. You don't want one figure that's totally busy and everywhere, and then one that isn't. They won't look right together. So this guy's got a busy shield on the hindquarters there of the armor. That we did that last time. So we're not going to put too much busyness up here that'll end up detracting from that. So I'm thinking we're gonna do a red crest on him. So let's do white on the rain covers. At least that's what I'm thinking. I could change my mind and modify it later, but I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it as I intend to the first time around, but if we got to modify it, it's not the end of the world. We can fix anything. The problem is why bother fixing something when you could just be painting something new? So we try to get it right the first time. We should try to get it how I like it the first time. All right, Joe, have a good day. Joe joined us the other day. Was it yesterday or the day before? It's all a blur. And we had a giant battle DBA game that we filmed live. That was a bunch of fun. That was a bunch of fun. Lots of people showed up on the correct day, so that was kind of an impromptu thing, and it worked out just fine. We'll be doing more of those in the future if all the planets align as they did on Monday night. Did a lot of gaming the last 2 days on purpose. Um, December is going to be difficult for me to get away from and do that, so might as well get that while we can. Should be able to paint in December, not too much, but Mondays are going to be really difficult for me to get over there in December. Okay. Yeah, let's lighten that up a little bit. This is the last armored. Well, this is the last fully armored. No, I'm wrong again. Getting ahead of myself. I say this is the last fully armored knight, but that's not true. I'm gonna have the file leaders or the guys in the front position. Still got those two guys to do, and all of the knights that are unarmored. Well, they've got a helmet, but the horse isn't armored. We got those guys to do on these deep nights. First coffee of the day. Okay. I'll lighten this up a little bit. This is the color that was. No, that's too light. tiny little bit. Let's not do that. I just realized the horse was that same color. I couldn't see that because I was blind. Okay, and we got the strap underneath the horse. We can probably do something with this color. I'm not particular to any exact color here. Let's see, it's Wednesday. I've kind of lost track of what day everything is. Today's Wednesday. We've got Thanksgiving tomorrow. day after Thanksgiving. We should be able to paint every morning here for four days or so. Things are going to start getting ugly for me on a Sunday. We got to go in on Sunday and knock some things out. Hit the road running on Monday. Going to be super busy at work from Monday until Christmas. So we figured we would take some time off now while we can. And well, we were busy this week too, but at some point I got to take the days off because they don't carry on the next year. So we took on a few days here before Thanksgiving. And we'll just use this as a base color. All right, we're going to do a saddle cloth here. We've got a yellow one, a blue one, a light blue one. This guy's asking for a green. This guy's asking for a green one. Let's see. This is one of these colors that misbehaves, isn't it? I think so. Got a couple of greens that are really, really watery. Need to look at replacing them. Maybe that's not the one. Got some of these paints that purchased them. They've been sitting on the shelf a bit too long. These are all one-piece castings from a museum. And they paint up pretty good. Of course, you don't have a chance to change up the horse or the pose of the figure. And it should work just fine interspersed with other figures in there. Okay, we're not going to lighten up all the way. We can go ahead and use this as the lightener. Lighten up all the way, meaning I didn't want to go all the way to the core color. We're going to save that for maybe the lance. I think we'll do the lance in green and white. Okay, I can probably go ahead and do the lance now. Now, if we are in fact going to do it blue and white, I mean the green and white, then let's lay it overall white first, and then we'll draw in the green parts. So yeah, let's plan on doing that. All right, so let's not use this brush. Let's use someone that can carry a little bit more paint. This one should be fine. And let's make it happen. All right. We're going to paint this entire lance in this light gray, which is going to be the darkest shade of the white that's going to be on here. Leave just a little bit of the tip unpainted so we can have a little line there and go into the tip part. This will be the last figure that's in this pose. All four of these are all a knight in the same pose from museum. We did that on purpose so that we could add variety, make them look a little different from each other. And they're going to get intermixed with the other units in on the stand. But we want to go ahead and knock all four of these out so that we give enough variety between them so it gives the illusion that they're not all the same figure. It's a little bit more of that right there. So I can't guarantee that in the next couple of days we'll be able to get these units done because there's a lot to be painted on them, but we're going to get as far as we can go because after Monday it's going to be very busy, not hobby related until, let's just say, the new year. Let's just round up to the new year. Christmas definitely, but maybe not the new year. So that's why we did so much filming this weekend. Marty comes down once a month. He's been doing the once a month thing now for like 6 months. I talked him into coming in twice, or this weekend. Not really the weekend. He comes on Mondays. I said, hey, why don't you come in on this Monday instead of Wednesday? And we can get some games in. So I think we made pretty good use of that. We filmed the big giant thing live, and a couple of other games, and one of those I just got done editing. We'll load that up throughout the day. That's a long, arduous process. So after we're done doing this, we'll start getting that up. But I think we made pretty good use of it while he was here. And let's lighten this up one more. And then we'll start putting the, no, you know what? We're going to leave this as it is. Now let's take this green. I'm fine with this one, unless we wanted to add, say, yeah, let's do this different green, this park green, just to mix it up a little bit. Mix that up. Mix this up here. Friendly neighborhood pleb. Thank you for the comment. That's a great name, by the way. I decided not to do a handle for any of my hobby stuff. I just figured it's going to be just going to add extra stuff to confusing if I'm going to put videos and people will ask, well, who are you? Like, oh, you're so and so. Oh, okay. We kind of had that problem at work. Name of our business, or not my business, but where I've worked for going on 27 years now, was not named. It was not easy to tell who the owner was, and he had multiple locations. So he kind of rebranded everything into the same name. So it's kind of the same thing. Besides, I'm nicer online than in person, so I don't need to. I don't need to make up a name to get ugly. Not that you're doing that. I'm just saying, it's just easier to just say who you are for me. Okay, so we got some green. Now, we know we're going to want the shaft in green here at the end. Let's go ahead and paint that. This is the darkest shade on that. All right. And let's put one in the middle. And it's going to be about that wide. So let's go ahead and paint that. I just thought about, why am I nicer online than in person? Well, here's the thing. This is going to make a lot of sense. Well, two things. I thought that the reason was because, if you say something ugly online, then you have to defend yourself. But that's not really the reason. The reason is when you interact with me online, we're talking about the thing I'm the most passionate about, and that's miniature historical gaming. So we're always talking about that. You meet me in person, it may be work related, something that is not my passion. So yeah, when we meet online, I'm doing what I love to do the most. So I'm always in a good mood. Somebody said, I think we're on vacation one time, and somebody said, "Tony, you're always in a good mood." I said, "Well, I'm only angry when I'm being paid." Okay, well, that one's hard to see there at the end. So let's split this again in half. In half again. I don't think I could do it once more. It's just not going to look right. But yeah, I just thought about that. That makes sense. If I'm interacting with people, a good day of gaming is better than a bad day of gaming is better than a good day at work, right? So this is what I truly enjoy. So, but anyhow, that's a good handle. I like that. I like when people come up with crafty names for things. It's Makes me smile. I had a true story. I had a guy that has a business here in town. Apparently, I didn't know this, but he's driving around. We were sitting in a restaurant, and his work vehicle, he has a van. Okay, like I don't know if it was like an Econoline, something like that. Just a large panel van kind of thing. And on the headliner of his van, the headliner is that little strip at the top of the windshield that sometimes says things backwards, so that when you look at it in the rear view mirror, it's you can read it, right? And on the headliner of his van, it says "Blind Man Driving," and the name of his business was the Blind Man. He did blinds for like windows and stuff, and I thought that was so crafty. I was really impressed. That was really cool. That's how you get people's attention. Only a couple businesses I've seen that are like that. Got another one that's does a lot of yard work in their lawn enforcement agency, and they have a symbol on it, like a sheriff on there as well. So I thought that was pretty crafty that they did that. I always like it when people come up with stuff like that. I always say that stuff. There's no reason to have a boring name for your business, because that's a lot easier to come up with than actually running a business and keeping track of maybe all the taxes and regulations you need to follow. So if you could handle that, you could certainly come up with a creative name for your business. I like it when people do things like that. It's makes me smile. So, I always like. I always thought I should have been in advertising, but probably a good thing that I'm not. So one advertising I remember from being a kid on TV. There's always a commercial about luggage and the gorilla. Basically, this luggage that was such good. This is like in the '70s. It was in such good shape that and good sturdy that they put it in a gorilla's cage, and the gorilla just have at it. Of course, it's a guy in a monkey suit. You know, but it's hilarious watching that now. I always referred to it as Friends, and it was actually American Tourister. So Samsonite was getting the credit for the ad, and they never even ran it. It was American Tourister was the luggage that was durable. Go figure, right? Had no idea. Well, that would explain why we got some Samsonite luggage and the handle pulled off of it. I'm wondering, oh, the gorilla could just go crazy with it. Why did it break here? Well, wrong luggage. There you go. All right. And let's go with the full brightness here. And of course, the full brightness is, you guys notice how I paint. I paint kind of like a thick watercolors almost. So some of the original color is showing through that's underneath. And I mean, I didn't do any scientific research. It just kind of worked that way. I just started painting and then I came up with my reasons. How about that? But what it allows that to do is there's a smoother transition between colors, so they're not as harsh sometimes. But it works out. Okay, I want to put another stripe in there, but I'd have to make the stripe smaller. So I think we're good with that. Now let's bring the white up to speed, and then we'll touch up the green and brighten it up some more if we need to. And this is what we're looking at so far. You can hardly see it because there's not a whole lot of contrast, but there'll be some contrast here on this step right here. Let's make sure we don't have any vestiges of green left in the brush, or we will not get the intended effect. Okay, let's get this here, add a little bit of black, not crazy. Have another sip of our motivational beverage. Motivational fuel. Something ain't right. This is turning brown instead of a blue. It's, this may be it right here. It'll work. It'll work. So I don't know how long I've been using this the thinner, but the thinner seems to help a lot. It's I think I read one place that it actually, unlike water, it doesn't dilute the pigment, and it definitely behaves different than water. And it was just a total fluke that I was even using this stuff because I had gotten it based on an article that I read about how to transfer over the paints from the Games Workshop bottles, and that was kind of a disappointment. That didn't work as I expected it to, but it did allow me to find out about the thinner, and you begin using that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That worked out really well. Okay, let's lighten up this white some more. Let's brighten up a little bit more. We're going to get to the true white here, but we need to be careful that we don't get there too quick, because it's gonna have the look I want it to have on there. And painting this thin has the advantage that it has no thickness to it that's discernible by the naked eye. So, and it also dries very fast, so I'm never waiting to put another color down. Okay, now we'll come in with this green. Okay, and just a tiny, tiny little bit of white. Just a tiny little bit. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that for now. This thing to stay right there, and we'll be all right. Yeah. All right. All right. Time for some more coffee. Be right back. All right. And we're back. Okay. Oh, we never finished the stirrups. Let's go ahead and get that out. Knock that out. Okay, we're good on that. Let's do the little metal tip there on the lance. Now, we're going to do something different with this guy. Watch this. Got any red that's alive? Probably not. Been a few days since we used it. Some of these quantities dry up sooner than others. Okay, let's get some black out of here as well. Ooh. Kind of this guy's going to have a tuft there. There's red and white alternating. Something a little different. And let's just put this on the brightest spots here. I don't want to use yellow to lighten this up. This little bit of white is just fine. All right. All right. Got some metal parts we didn't quite get. If you miss painting something on a figure, it's down there somewhere where it's not going to be touched. meaning it's in some recess, something that's not going to get in contact with anybody moving the figure around. You're fine, just get it later. You know, it's not a big deal. Because it doesn't really need to be sealed back in there. It's not going to be, it's not going to come in contact with anything where it needs extra protection. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to any socks if this guy has any. Now this brown horse had just the front two. This one had four, all four. This one has all four. Let's we're gonna have to paint this one over here because it got scuffed up. So let's get us I believe this is just the standard brown color. I could be wrong, but this is what we're gonna use. That's why I leave this stage till the last. But just by spinning this figure around, I mean, the stand it's on is significantly bigger. You invariably are going to scuff up the edges of the figure and so forth. So, all right, we're going to do socks now. We're going to put them. Let's put it on three of them. And it's strange when you first see that. You're like, oh, you would think that it would have it on all of them or none of them, but that's not the case. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. How about this? Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and paint this here. I like taking the darkest shade and start adding white to it. We'll just do the front two. How about that? Just do the front two of the socks. You can see I don't try to plan a whole lot. It just kind of happens. Okay, and then we'll add more white to it. Hey Kevin, how you doing out there in Arizona stand? Early there. Hopefully you didn't stay up all night. There's some people I know that can't get up before 11 a.m., but they can stay up till 4. I'm certainly not one of them. I'm the opposite. I could wake up at 4. I could wake up at 3. I'd rather wake up at 3 than stay up till 3. Okay, and now let's do the hooves. Now, I believe this is the hoof color, and there's still some life left in it. That's good. That just saves time. Forget saving paint. How about saving time? Stayed up watching the latest video. Which one? Got more in the works. Got one that I finished editing this morning, but I wanted to get some painting done. So it should be up at some point today. But I wouldn't stay up for it because it could be another 8 hours before it's up by the time it's done all the compressing and all that stuff. But try to make good use of having a couple of days off. So everything kind of fell into place and we got a lot of filming done. So I have one guy that I know that was actually complaining, like, man, how come you just go like so many weeks without a video and then all of a sudden you do like 3 or 4? I said, well, because there's other things that we have to do other than just sit around and play games. So when we do have a chance to do some games and we can film, we knock out a whole bunch of them at once. So that's why it works that way. And many of the people that I play with have opposite schedules. I have a pretty consistent Monday through Friday type work week. And other people that I play with, I'm not going to name who they are, but they work weekends and they have 2 days off during the Monday through Friday week. So we kind of have to get all that to fall in order. But I tell you what, it was really nice being able to play a game, although we didn't stay up super late, but it was nice being able to stay up till 10:30 and not have to go into work the next day. That was, you know, that was nice. Because usually we game on Mondays and have to go into work on Tuesday, and and it's a mad rush to get the videos uploaded and so forth. So, and then the big battle was just kind of a surprise. We had extra people that showed up on exactly the correct day, so that they could be. We could have taken 2 more people. We have lots of people in that game. It's the one-on-ones. You don't want a lot of people because everybody else is sitting around and trying to get them to stay quiet and behave and so forth. So you realize you don't have any pike. Wow, lots of cool pike armies. Lots of cool armies that have pikes that aren't necessarily pike armies. So okay, we're gonna do black hair on the horse. So we're just gonna cover everything in black, and then we'll lighten up a little bit, and this dude's done. Lots of people don't like pikes. I don't know why? I like them. They look cool. They look cool. Okay, this guy's basically done. And this guy getting done, all four of the same pose are complete. So we'll show you guys what that looks like here. See if we can get this in a position where we can focus on this. Pokemon. I guess some don't like pike figures because the pike gets in the way. No, they don't like pike figures because I don't think they can deal with giving up frontage and having to double up. I'm guessing. I just think it's just an added challenge. I like pike figures a lot. I like all that stuff. And pikes don't scare me from not being able to win because they're in my battle array. I can count on them to do things right. Unlike Warband, for instance, which leave me hanging all the time. Okay, so they are not sealed, they're not varnished, which means I don't know what happens when you varnish them. They look a lot better when they're varnished. So these are the four knights that will go in these deep nightstands in position 2 and 3. You have three guys against the back, two of them here, and then one guy leading the thing. So I don't know who's going to go on which one. We're going to paint all of the figures here and all the figures here on this stand, on both of these stands before we figure out who's what. So, but that's what's coming up for these guys. So these guys are complete. So at this point, we can either do the commoners against the back, which will be 6 figures, or we can do the other file leaders. We'll call them file leaders. That's probably an accurate name for them. Well, we need to put the file leaders together. So that's a given. So maybe we should start on that. Let's move these little guys back to over here to the corner. Hopefully put them somewhere they don't fall off and get damaged. We don't want to handle them too much and scuff up any of the paint. So yeah, okay. That's yeah. These are the 6. These are the 6 dudes. The reason I wouldn't do them next is because I don't want to get bogged down by the shields. Every single one of them has a shield, and it's not going to be personal heraldry. It's going to be these guys are all mercenaries, so they're all going to have Hungarian type stuff for for this state, so to speak. They won't all be the same. They'll be slightly different, but okay. So here's a file leader guy we can use, and what was the other one? Oh, this guy here with the mace. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to use. We just need a couple of roundway horses for them to go on. Armored horses. I think they're in here. See what we got here. It's the Italian style armor, at least the one with a lot of the Italian knights came in, and then this one as well. So there's only one of these left. Might actually use the Italian armor on both of them because these guys had a tendency to have a lot of Italian style things on it. I think that's what I'm going to do, especially since there's only one of these guys left. Yeah, we'll save this horse. Well, I do need 2 horses. All right. Let's get these guys out of the way. I'll work on them right now. These are roundaway figures with roundaway horses. Somebody said I should use a file. I'm gonna get filings everywhere. Let's see what we got here. And I don't have files small enough for this. So let's just take that little ridge off. I don't have very much flashing at all. Okay. Okay. Let's glue these guys on a temporary stand. Do the other ones. Any flashing on these guys? No. Okay. Let's go ahead and glue these 2 horses down. Now, a file would be handy here. To make that more flush. That's just old glue on there. Yeah, I found a use for a file. Other than filing down the edge of the tips. Let's see what we got here. We got one of these we're almost done with. Just some super glue. Kind of overkill. I thought it was the old one and it came out really fast. All right, let's mix this up some epoxy. We epoxy the writing figure on there. Sure, I don't have any last minute changes. Oh, this is where these other guys were. Yeah, I'm not going to put any of these deep guys on there. Yeah, because I've got to do some other nights also. I got some other nights here. I'm going to do some other nights that are the only three I'm saying, not the deep ones. The deep ones are a little later, so I want to use the guys that have a little bit later armor for that. Meaning post 1460. Okay. Little 2-part 5-minute epoxy, which is the same thing that I'll use to glue these guys to the stand. You never have to worry about these boogers again. Okay. Now, make sure we don't have any fit issues. We won't, but just have it. One gotta be like this. One gotta be like that. All right. Now, we don't have to worry for this to dry a little bit first. It should be good to go. Sometimes you got figures that are off center or like the tip over. You might need to wait for the epoxy to harden up a little bit so that they don't shift on you. Okay. Well, these two guys are done. They're going to end up having to get primered first before we can work on them. Of course, they need to dry before we do that. So we're going to set them off to the side here. That's the file leaders. That's the guys that are in position 1 on both of the 2 stands. So I specifically want guys that do not have any heraldry because these are supposedly mercenary forces at this time. So we don't want any of their personal heraldry or whatever involved. They're just out to make a quick, out to make some quick coin. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. All right. Let's see if we can get done in another 15 minutes or so. That's about all we got time for this morning. We got to go do things that are, let's just say, less fun than what I'm doing right here. Okay, so we're going to let these two guys dry, which shouldn't take long, but we'll probably start our next painting session with priming these guys black. And not sure if that'll be today. I don't know if we can get another one in today. We'll have to wait till tomorrow morning. But we're going to paint one of the horses on one of these lesser nights, so to speak. So let's find us a candidate. And I already know what color I'm going to do, so let's... boy, this guy's super out of whack. It seems like this guy's really leaning over, but that's because there's a piece of glue there. But he's straight on, and it's not a problem because when we pop this guy off, it won't be an issue. But I want a standard-looking horse. Say this guy right here. All right, we're gonna paint this horse up. And the color I wanted to use was, as soon as I find it here, is it this one? No, that's not it. It's this color is the base. US Tan Earth. Thank you. We'll paint this up. Now we're going to use, go over here to the unloved section. Mix this stuff up and we'll do a quick horse and make some progress here. Yeah, so we did a little bit of painting today. What are we, an hour and a half in? It'll be like an hour and 45 minutes. Then we'll stop and we'll start exporting that video while we do other stuff. So the new phone's a lot quicker. It's about a 4-to-1. So a 4-hour long video will take about an hour to export. But we don't need to use a brush that fancy. Use a brush that's crappier. Let's get some black over here. Okay. And we're just going to cover this entire horse in this color. This is the only part really that uses a sizable amount of paint. Is painting this overall in the color. Lots of people dislike painting horses, so I've heard. I'm not one of them. I do not like. I don't not dislike painting these guys. It's real similar to like painting faces on humans. You know that that point really gives them character, and I don't know, gives them personality or what have you. I prefer the horses that are unarmored like this. Can tell the color of the horse a heck of a lot easier. Okay, so he's totally covered in this darker shade here. Let's lose this big brush and go over to the smaller one. And let's add more of this core color. It might actually be too much of a difference. Yeah, that's a little better. And we're going to pick out the muscles here, and it's going to fade into the extremities of the legs. We're going to leave them a little darker than the other spots. You love cav armies. I don't. I like painting them, but I don't. Oh, they paint up just fine. Just as far as playing them, it's too much of a good thing. I'm talking about in the video yesterday. What's your favorite army? I don't know that I have a favorite army. I really don't. I like to paint cav, but I'd rather play with foot. I prefer Saloy to Light Horse. Um, yeah, I don't know. They paint up well enough. I do like the Cav element a lot better in 3.0. It's my preferred general to have. I prefer my preferred general is to have a Cav general or a Blade general. Blade general is mobility, issues, but yeah, a Cav general is nice 4/4 and lots of mobility. There's lots of Cav charms to choose from. A lot of them. Whew. Man, I'm drinking coffee and falling asleep. And I did stay up late. Staying up late for me is 11. I believe I went to sleep about 10. Well, I finished editing a video, but just didn't have it in me. I had to do that first thing when I woke up this morning. So this part's actually pretty mindless and therapeutic, I think. Got missed a big old swath of black on that lance. We'll have to fix that. Because trying to paint more than one figure at a time. Go ahead and do that now. It's a strange part of the morning here when the light ends up hitting the. I have a transom window, and the light will actually come in here and go over the painting area. And it's really disoriented. That's not a good time to paint. You would think more light is better, but they're two different styles of light, the natural and and this aught light here, and comes actually difficult to see. So that happens about, well, we had a time change, and who knows? It was happening about 9:30 in the morning pretty consistently, but you're a fan of Sarmatians. You like all of one? Man, I like mounted, but I can't handle. I would rather have Saloy and Auxilia have to try to find it, fight in the open than Cav trying to fight in terrain. That's just a struggle. That doesn't mean I want a board devoid of terrain, but it just gives me freaking headaches. Trying to think about that. Sarmatians. All nights. You're a night fan, huh? I love to paint them. I don't like how they behave. That doesn't mean I'm not going to build armies with them and that I'm not going to paint them. I want a variety of different things. I'm starting to think bow are too powerful. I've won so many games with bow. Just shot people to bits. Bow and blade. I love bow and blade. And spear too. Spear just fine. There's an option for Saloy. What, like 3 though, right? They can only have like 3. I don't know. I need some heavy foot. I need some heavy foot to deal with stuff. I need at least 3 heavy foot, ideally. Whether it's solid spear or solid blade or fast blade, I need at least 3 of those in an army. Pike could probably do it too, but you need more than 3 then. Sarmatians. I had an inkling of doing Dacians, and there's Sarmatians in the Dacian army, and I think there can be allies of each other on top of that, so that'd be a good fit. Okay. So what I got so far. We're gonna come in here with. Well, we're gonna have to cut this off. We got other things that we got to do, unfortunately. But thanks for joining me, and check out the rest of my videos, and you know, 30 Sarmatians went to Hungary. Yeah, I could see that. Anyhow, check out all the other videos we got, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I know that's not the case for you, Kevin. You're all good in that department, but for the rest of you, yeah, You do that, and you'll be notified immediately when there's some new stuff on there. You don't have to go searching around for it. So anyhow, happy painting and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.